Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nastaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, text number 41. Atha Vishva Isha Vishva Atma Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurte Svakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vṛṣṇishu. Synonyms: Atha, therefore. Vishva Isha, O Lord of the universe. Vishva Atman, O soul of the universe. Vishvamurte, O personality of the universal form. Svakeshu, onto my own kinsmen. Me, my. Snehapasham, tie of affection. Imam, this. Chindi, cut off. Dridam, deep. Pandushu, for the Pāṇḍavas. Vṛṣṇishu, for the Vṛṣṇis also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Translation. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pāṇḍavas and the Vṛṣṇis. Please repeat. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pāṇḍavas and the Vṛṣṇis. Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord. but the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Śrīmatī Kuntīdevī was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pāṇḍavas and the Vṛṣṇis. The Pāṇḍavas are her own sons, and the Vṛṣṇis are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both the families. Both the families required the Lord's help because both were dependent devotees of the Lord. Śrīmatī Kuntīdevī wished Sri Krishna to remain with her sons, the Pāṇḍavas, but by his doing so, her paternal family would be bereft of the benefit. All these partialities troubled the mind of Kunti, and therefore she desired to cut off the affectionate tie. A pure devotee cuts off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. The typical example is the band of 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya. All of them belonged to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher caste, but for the benefit of the mass of population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. The personality of Godhead, as an ideal king, showed this by example. Sri Ramachandra cut off the tie of affection for his beloved wife to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities as a Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Śrīmatī Kuntīdevī was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to be free from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe, or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all-powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all-powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him, and thus clears the path for his going back to Godhead. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from the Prayers by Queen Kunti, that's the chapter name. We have been saying some of the exalted prayers offered by Queen Kunti. So here straight away she is asking, O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pāṇḍavas and the Vṛṣṇis. So this is a very special prayer that generally not many ask or seek. So Prabhupada is telling, a pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord. But the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the family affection. Earlier, in the few verses that she was offering prayers, she was praying in such a way that we will no longer be same if you leave this place. She also mentioned, are you leaving us today? We are completely dependent on you. Now she is praying the family to affection to be cut off. In the earlier prayer, she said, if you go away, we cannot live peacefully. We, she said, we means the family. And now she is saying, better you cut off my family affection so that I become more attached to you. So, the important aspect that we should take from this is, although there are family relations, there are thick attachments to each other in a family, but a pure devotee seeks nothing but the affection of the Lord, that as the prime duty or the prime affection that one can develop. So, the important aspect from the scriptural point of view, how is this family looked about, is given by a very nice example by Prabhupada. How are these family members coming together? Are just like the straws coming together by the waves of the water, and they all come together on the banks of the river. And then, in the meantime, when the flow of water or the disturbance caused by something, the straws get separated. How much value do we give if some straws come together and then get separated in a meantime? All of us know. Hardly we take it to a value. So that is the example given when some people come together in the name of family, and in the meantime they all go in their own journey. So how much are people in this understanding we can see for ourselves? It's a quite contrast. They think family is the first. We keep meeting some people in the city talking about bhakti and then encouraging them for devotional services. So often they say, my first interest is my family, and then comes something else, and then Lord. But here Kunti is saying the other way. Better you cut off my affection so that I can be focused on your the affection towards you. So this shows the mood and understanding that a devotee has. Many people, if not for the family, they extend it to the society or to the nationalism, etc. Prabhupada, in this context, he says that's why we have named our institution as International Society, not national, not regional, no. So anywhere you have an affection, it is like the straws coming together, and we perhaps know nobody cares for some straws coming together and taking their way, getting apart again. So the important point is how, but the very nice point that Prabhupada makes here, but the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. As parents, as if they have children or if they have ailing parents, they would seek protection or some kind of material benefits from the Lord. They seek material benefits, maybe in the terms of education, or in terms of their marriage, or in terms of their health. But Prabhupada says here, Kuntīdevī was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pāṇḍavas and the Vṛṣṇis. So Kunti is related to both sides. A man has only one family, but a woman, she has two families, the paternal family and the maternal. So idea is, how, if she becomes like, should she ask for the sons of the Pāṇḍavas, those who are Pāṇḍavas, should they be benefited, or the family of their paternal, who are the Vṛṣṇis? So she is confused, and she feels better is I get detached from both of them. So this is a very great prayer, and Prabhupada says in the end, the Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all-powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all-powerful energy. I was reading a pastime from Bhagavatam about Anga. There was a king Anga. He had no sons. So he was offering a sacrifice in seeking the mercy of the Lord to have a son. But here, this kind of incident happens there. It is told the Lord the all-powerful ability has all-powerful ability to cut the hard knot of the family. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity to a weak devotee, not everybody is so much devoted as Kuntīdevī to seek such a prayer. But Anga there, being very affectionate or aspiring to have a son, he offers a prayer, and then Lord, out of his causeless mercy and showing special affinity, blesses with a poor-hearted or a hard-hearted son. So a Vena will be born. His son, Vena. He is so notorious that Anga, who asked for the son, becomes disgusted by his activities and leaves home and goes. The very father who had asked for a blessing to have a good son or a son, by the Lord's arrangement, the same son becomes the reason for him to get disgusted and frustrated of this material affection and leaves the family and goes to the forest. So what do we understand from this? It is not that every desire, it is not that every desire a devotee asks, Lord fulfills. In fact, perhaps I was thinking, how many brahmacharis here would have prayed like this, that they should get rid of their family affections and serve the Lord full time? Hardly. So we should see, maybe we are weak devotees, that's why Lord out of causeless mercy had not even seeking, had given this opportunity. So the idea is, Prabhupada says, a pure devotee cuts off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activity of devotional service for all forgotten souls. So the typical example is 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya. All of them belonged to a most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher caste, but for the benefit of the mass of population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. To cut off the family affection means to broaden the field of activities. So this is a very nice understanding that one has to develop. To cut off the family affection means to broaden the family of activities. Often people misunderstand cutting off family affections to be something radical, something self-possessive, not responsible, and so forth. But we see here it is contrasting. It means broadening the field of activities. You're not limited to your family, society, nation, but you are going beyond. So, Prabhupada continues to say, without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public servant, or a devotee of the Lord. It calls for having detachment. If you want to have a position of a Brahmana, a king, a public servant, or a devotee of the Lord, we should know how many of them in the society, Brahmana, a king, public servant, how many are detached to their family or society, etc. Unless one is devoted to Krishna, Lord Krishna, hardly we see any of the qualified kings or public leaders having this broadening of their activities. Their activities are more or less self-centered or extending to their extended family and so forth. But here we're talking about something beyond, just not having influence on the own circle of aspects. No, it is beyond. That's why Prabhupada says, even he quotes Lord Ramachandra cutting off the tie of affection for beloved wife to manifest the quality of an ideal king. So, because it is told even a king has to be detached, and he showed it. Because Sita was abandoned for a while. So, this is the idea when we have a qualified Brahmana or a devotee, unless otherwise these will be misunderstood and hardly taken. One more aspect that we can derive from this context of understanding or seeking prayer, that we should cut off the unnecessary family affections. People do have not just family, it is extended to nationalism or some religion. Prabhupada quotes a very striking example. Way back in 1947, when there was a partition, India and Pakistan, they were trying to demarcate based on religion, and they were fighting. And then Prabhupada says there was a big war, and then many people, Hindus and many Muslims, they were all killed. And soon after they were killed, the aspect of clearing it up came into picture. Who is supposed to clear all this mess of dead bodies? The municipality. They came and then cleared all the bodies. So where was the religion then? It was not considered, okay, this body is Hindu religion body or certain body is Muslim religion body. No, there was no discrimination. It was all cleared up. So, people have little understanding in the terms of religion that they follow. Is it to the aspect that, where is that, self-centered thing? It is all in the mind and it's in the, polluted consciousness, we can say, or for some radical thinking. But otherwise, from this pretty easy example, we can know it is all a part of a story. That's it. Because there is no significance in what they achieved. In the name of religion, people fight. Prabhupada very nicely gives a clarity when he puts up this example. He says, religion means dharma. Dharma means to obey the laws of Lord. Now, everybody has come out with their own religion or dharma and saying, we don't accept this or we don't accept that. So, Prabhupada gives us a very good example to understand this. Somebody is selling gold. Somebody is selling pure gold. Somebody is selling 18 karat gold. Somebody is selling 14 karat gold, so forth. Everybody is mixing up on their own style and claiming to be gold. So similarly, this dharma or the religion or the nationalism that they are fighting is all a mixture, not knowing proper understanding of whom it belongs to. After all, it all belongs to Lord, and after all, everybody has to abide by the true understanding that Lord gives. So that's why Prabhupada clears off, one should be very fortunate to have this proper dharma. Unless otherwise, how many will be satisfied with 18 karat or 16 karat or 14 karat? Everybody wants a 24 karat. So similarly, unless otherwise, having understood the bhakti aspects from the as delineated by acharyas and great devotees like Kunti, people will be messed up only fighting for some petty things, thinking their religion or their aspect of dharma to be greater than the other. So, people are attached to their religion, people are attached to their families, people are attached to nationalism, etc., etc. But we should know and understand from this very nice example that Kunti is saying, neither of them, either Pāṇḍavas or Vṛṣṇis, let me be free from any of these affections, and my sneha, the affection towards you, may be prevailed. One more very nice example Prabhupada gives. Okay, so it was from a very nice exemplified story. There was a bird, a sparrow, father sparrow, mother sparrow, and there was a small baby sparrow they had. They were on a tree, all the three. The child sparrow was just born, maybe a week. It was hardly able to fly. So the parents of that sparrow were taking good care, bringing the needs of that little sparrow. Thereby a hunter comes. Hunter, he knows all this, so he puts a bite and he puts a net, alluring them for them to catch in that net. The baby bird, unknowing of the circumstances, it jumps and gets caught in that net. And then, out of affection, the mother bird, without even much thinking, out of the family affection, it also jumps to save, ending at to be bound by one more net already planned. Now comes the father bird. Now it has two options. Will it use intelligence, or it will also jump again and then be caught by the hunter's one more net? Because that's the hunter's mind. He knows, okay, family affection is part of not just the human form, but it prevails in all the forms. So Prabhupada says, the father bird, it did not go. It flew away, took sannyas. He mentions like. So, idea is, nobody else can save but Krishna. If one is fortunate enough to have that affection grown towards Krishna, that is the goal, the noble aim of human form of life. Otherwise, there may be so many aims that one may perceive, but they'll all be on a superficial platform. For us to have this, have a best of the human form, we have to abide by the acharyas and the prayers that these great devotees offered. So it's a very great prayer that we can always contemplate on and then conduct ourselves in what we are perceiving in our lives. Otherwise, we may be getting one way or the other bound and missing out the true aim of life. So with this I close. If you have any questions. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.